And thank you once again for joining us for another edition of The Closed Fist. I am Russ, that is Joey, that is Will.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Nerds.
Yes, I'm glad you're on the bandwagon, finally.
Nerds.
Took a little bit.
Oh my goodness. So, man, we've been turned topsy-turvy all over the place over this past month. And it's about time we started saying thank yous to a bunch of people and organizations that have allowed us into their homes.
Literally.
Special thank you goes out to Victory One Wrestling for allowing us into your home, Blackjack Phoenix's home, to do a roundtable with those guys. It was a great time, and we hope to get with you guys again sometime.
Awesome interview, by the way.
Thank you very much.
All those guys and you too. Great job.
Absolutely. Nickel City Wrestling, way back about a month or two ago now, they were the first organization to let us in and do interviews with their guys. And a special thank you goes out to Robbie Vegas, because he kind of set that whole thing up for us.
Awesome.
So Robbie, thank you very much. And Buffalo Championship Wrestling, who's going to be allowing us to do interviews next week at their Halloween show. So we're going to have more stuff, fresh stuff. And of course, last but certainly not least, Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor. You know what? For being a big organization, they treated us very, very well. The special thank you to the Bullet Club, the Kenny Omega, Cody, the American Nightmare Cody, the Young Bucks, and Marty Skrull. They're a great bunch of guys. Thank you very much. And also,
thank you, Cody, for making him kiss your ring.
Yeah, buddy.
It's forever in video.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. And also the guys from the Kingdom, Vinny Marsiglia, TK O'Ryan, and Matt Taven. I expect big things from those guys at some point. But those guys were great, and hopefully in the future we get to meet up with you guys again and have some more fun.
Yeah, maybe all of us could be there.
But so a special thank you to everybody. And you know what? The subscriberships have gone up, the viewership has gone up, and we can sit here and talk, but if nobody's watching, nobody cares.
Absolutely.
And everybody, we care. But everybody out there that has taken the time to watch us make complete asses of ourselves, thank you very much. And there's more to come. Definitely.
Thank you, tough guy.
Cheers. Woo.
I had water around here. So
yeah.
There it is.
Water break.
Whee! There it is. But now, getting to the crux of the matter.
Oh, boy.
We've been doing Mount Rushmores of pro wrestlers, and then we did managers. This time, we're going to be doing factions.
On a sidebar, I did like that Cody brought up his father being on his Mount Rushmore.
That was you know
cool.
what?
I think he's a secret fan of the fist.
You know what though? But it's interesting because third generation. He's third generation, second generation wrestlers. You have to fight through
a lot
to make a name for yourself, and he has. Right. He doesn't think he's there yet, but I think he's made a.
If not, he's on the threshold.
Oh my goodness, yes.
I'd say that I wholeheartedly agree with the fact that he's right there.
Yeah,
breaking out of the WWE, I think, was his possible best move.
Yeah,
I mean, for his career, it's going to take him places that unfortunately the Wombats can't.
And that's why he has control. And I think that's the main thing.
That's going to be a big conversation.
Yeah. Will's getting angry already.
He's going through the table.
But going back to factions, though, something that we don't see that much anymore.
Heavily missed. Thank you.
Heavily missed, yes, but I think a set you just thanked right there could possibly be bringing that back around again. The Bullet Club. They're the hottest thing going.
Yes,
right
they are.
Now,
Yes, they are.
And so we could see a turn for back around. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of see like hints of it. Like when they had the club, Gallows, Anderson, and AJ Styles, and then they broke them up.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was all the talks of what was going to happen before the shakeup, and then the shakeup shook it up.
They shook it up. I mean, I think they went too far. I mean, I don't know about
come back from it yet.
Too far, but they did way too much. They did more than they had to, I think.
I personally don't think they should have called it the club. Because I think you're just, you're holding on to something which is established with the Bullet Club.
You have the Bullet Club, you have the Club, you have the Balor Club. There's too many clubs.
Well, Balor Club, I don't understand either. I guess that's possibly his fan base is what that's
a one-man club.
It makes no sense. But I digress.
Yeah.
He-Man Woman Haters Club. I mean, all that.
Oh my goodness! But it brought up the idea, Mount Rushmore of factions. Started off with the angry homeless guy.
Always.
I think we bounce these off each other because I'm struggling with this one. I mean, of course, as we all would choose, the Four Horsemen would probably be number one for everybody. I mean, from the in-ring work, the promo, top to bottom.
They're just the definition of a faction.
You can't beat it. You can't.
And you know what was great about them is that you think of Four Horsemen, you immediately think of Ric Flair, who we all know about his promos and everything, the showmanship and whatnot. Jet flying, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, all that stuff. Woo, there you go.
Stealing, wheeling, dealing.
Yeah. But you look at the other guys that were in that faction.
Top notch.
I mean,
they're the legitimate definition of a faction.
Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard could carry the mic.
Oh, are you kidding me?
And then you had interchangeable parts. As a fourth guy, you had Barry Windham, Ole, Dean Malenko, Lex Luger was in there for a bit.
Sorry, there were some dark times in the Four Horsemen, and it goes to Lex Luger. Sorry, and I love the total package, but
I, however, do not.
But okay, so we all agree about the Four Horsemen being up there. Now, who do you have at another number two?
Like I said, this is tough, man. I mean, again, factions of pro wrestling, or the Mount Rushmore, pardon me.
Right.
And for the viewers, too, it's three or more people make a faction.
Yeah, three or more people make a faction. I mean, I don't want to steal anybody's thunder on this one, so I mean, I'll pass it to Joe because I think we probably were going to agree with this. Who would your number one be? Or no, after the Four Horsemen, I apologize.
Oh, it's a tie, but we're doing four anyway. But it's going to be NWO or DX. Both.
NWO.
Yeah,
NWO changed the game.
Both
right?
of them did. They really did.
Yeah, but NWO
the jaw drop of what was done in Hogan.
How they did it, man. Like how they brought it in and everything. I think that was a game changer for a while.
I think in pro wrestling, we all look for that shock factor. We all look for that moment that you'll never forget.
That's what brought
you
me
remember
back.
the night where you were when you saw Scott Hall come out and we're like, what? Yep. And the build up with that, and then Kevin Nash, and then who's the third guy?
Right. And that's the moment right there that we all.
That's the day wrestling changed.
That was the day wrestling absolutely did change. It not only changed, but it flipped the ratings.
Oh yeah. That's what brought me back.
Yeah.
I left for a little bit. Sorry, but I left for a couple of years. Life got in the way, but hearing that and going back and watching it. It just brings back a lot of memories. It was an amazing time in wrestling.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what started the Monday Night Wars, pretty much.
Which was DX.
And then DX.
Well, but that's why I said NWO. It's not a forefather because it's so close in time frame. But it's
one begat the other.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's almost like the NWO took what the Four Horsemen were doing. And just
explode
on steroids,
and just elevated
literally,
it. And just
that was also the downfall of the NWO was the NWO white, red, LWO.
Yeah,
all the WOs just it became what killed it.
That was going to be my next thing is the rise and fall of the faction revolved around the NWO
too.
But.
They took it to another level, and I guess I wish it would have been around longer because, they screwed it up by doing so much with it, too much too soon.
And then the Wombats destroyed it by bringing it back.
And then, that's a.
That was just the biggest letdown. And
we'll take it. We'll make it better. No, you won't.
You mean when they came back in WWF?
Yeah.
They made them chumps. They basically turned them into Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Notice I'm looking at Will when I say Bray Wyatt.
We'll get to that. You guys can beat me up all you want.
So you have the NWO. You have
Four Horsemen.
You have the Four Horsemen, and then you have DX. What about your fourth?
That's where I'm having my hard time. There's so many other guys, so many other factions that come to me. I mean, Ministry of Darkness, the Hart Foundation / family, the Heenan family. I mean, there's so many to choose from at this point. Even, I hate to say it, because I was not a fan at the time, but I'm becoming a fan now. Shield, New Day. I mean, I'd like to keep my Mount Rushmore to the Legends era, not so much new era. But like you said, the Bullet Club, they're poised for greatness.
You know what? I think what you like about them is that they are like a combination of, I think pretty much a combination of all the factions that we've mentioned.
Yeah.
In a way. Because, I mean, you can see some of Ric Flair in there with maybe Kenny Omega. You can see some of DX in there with the Bucks. One Sweet, that's right. It is One Sweet now. And then you can
don't get us sued, man.
It's One Sweet.
I know, but they might sue us now. You never know.
All right, 4 Sweet.
Yeah, right. We pull our own.
4 Sweet and low.
But it's almost like in watching them, when they were here in Buffalo, you could kind of see like all the factions of the past kind of like molded into them.
They're true fans of wrestling, and they, when you grew up watching that, or you were enamored like the rest of us were. And you're in that business, you got to bring that to the forefront, especially when you're not having somebody write everything for you. You're allowed to bring it forward, and that's why it shows so well.
And I think you can put Cody in like a Ric Flair mode too.
I was gonna say, almost like you have like, Arn Ortelli. I mean, with Kenny Omega, I'm not saying Cody's the draw, because I think when Kenny was billed on the shows. Yep. That the tour you went to, that's what sold the tickets was Kenny Omega. But
you can kind of see like all the factions in time kind of like molded into the Bullet Club, in a way, and it's and it really comes out well on camera.
You take from the best and you take from the worst, and you know what to do.
Yeah.
I think it was an underrated one. Maybe not underrated, but it was Evolution, because it was kind of they were trying to build their own horsemen again, but you had two guys who could really work good on the mic really well.
Yes.
You had the Muscle with Batista. You had Randy Orton, who they groomed as basically the future. Right. They were good, man. They didn't last long enough. Was it about a 2-year run or so?
But you know what though? I mean, if you have a faction now that gives you a 2-year run, I think that's.
I even kind of like Legacy. I like what they did with them. They had that kind of pack mentality that. It
was DiBiase, Rhodes, and who?
No, it was
Orton. Orton, okay.
Yeah.
And then for a minute, wasn't it one of the Samoan dudes for like a second?
Yeah, I can't remember his name either, but that was interesting too.
Yeah, the whole chaining of Triple H to the rope and going to the house and fighting, and Kofi breaking his
accent.
I thought Evolution was pretty solid.
They were solid.
And funny enough, you have two of the other factions named in there now, Triple H and Ric Flair.
Just another sidebar, because the fourth one is the tough one here. This is where I'm struggling with this, like you said.
There's a lot of monuments.
The Hart Foundation was actual wrestlers, you know what I mean? It was actual, but like we were just throwing around the Heenan family. Now that was a stable, not a faction, because it was he ran it, and.
But they called it back then. They called it stables.
Yeah.
But I would definitely consider the Heenan family.
So much room in there. I mean, Nation of Domination. I mean, there's so many other groups that you could throw in there.
Yeah.
So you'd consider the Heenan family would be a possibility of
absolutely of
a faction.
Absolutely.
That's my fourth then.
You want to do okay?
Yeah,
you want
Heenan family.
Well, I mean, I would go. I mean, kind of like you. The Horsemen, the Heenan family. I would have to put DX in there.
Oh yeah.
Just because of what they changed. I want to say they changed the game.
They took the NWO and made it R-rated.
They elevated it.
Yes.
Yeah. They elevated it, and I know I'm gonna sound like a homer or whatever because I just saw these guys, but I'm going to put the Bullet Club in there right now simply because what they're doing is without big time TV.
True, that's true. I give you that.
They've been able to do it without Vince, without the backing of a major TV contract, and they've been around for, I believe, this is going all the way back to when Finn Balor was in it.
Yeah.
They've been around for at least 5 years.
Right. Yeah.
And their merchandise sales crush anybody right now.
I think for me, they're very close to being on there. Like, I want to see how this plays out with them. I want to see how much further they could take it to actually really become a legendary faction.
Right.
Yeah,
because you want to see if it's flash in the pan because
because we need factions, and then it's such a what's the word I'm looking for, a supply and demand right now.
Yes.
That they are that because there's nobody else.
But
go ahead.
Well, all right. Well, because what I think you were going to say is because they've been around for 5 years.
At least.
So but the interchangeable parts is, which I think is the cool part about them, is like when someone goes over there and they join the Bullet Club and somebody leaves and goes either big time or goes wherever else they go, is the cool part about the Bullet Club, but also the heat they're getting right now, like all the pop they're getting, everything they're getting right now, will that sustain?
Yeah.
For the legendary Mount Rushmore status? That's the question. I'm not saying they won't, but it's the question I have.
I think if you look at, like, say, DX, how long were they around for?
Like
a while, man.
4 years.
Four years.
Well,
See, if you think about it
which
this way.
incarnation of it? Was it the first one with everybody, with Rick Rude and China, and
I think
those two? Then you had when the New Age Outlaws and X-Pac came, and then it changed. And then it was just the tag team.
I think.
And Hornswoggle.
I think. Hornswoggle.
Hey.
I think the one that people remember the most is the one with the New Age Outlaws.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's.
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, you didn't know?
But the thing too is, if you look at the factions, you have everybody knows. Everybody knows. For life, everybody too sweet.
Yeah.
Those are those things that stick with you.
Right.
Are the Bullet Club there yet? Do they have something that's going to stick with you 20 years from now that you're remember?
If your measuring stick is their hand gestures, then the Heenan family has none. I'm asking.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying because everybody knows those call signs, those words, those symbols, whatever you use, that's what sticks in your head.
Yep.
Whereas, to me, the Bullet Club's not quite there yet.
Right.
I think they're going to do amazing, great things, especially this group.
Well, the big reason why I'm putting them up there right now. Well, again, forever in video, but the reason why I'm putting them on there right now is because, again, they've been able to do what they've done without Vince.
Right.
And I think it's pissing Vince off to a certain degree that A, they're doing it without him, and B, he can't get them to sign with them.
Just like WCW did.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing.
But that makes for good wrestling.
You know,
too bad it's not happening.
So I mean, so that's why I'm putting him up there, because what they've created. This isn't outside writers or whatever like that created it for them. They created this. They sell their own merchandise. They market themselves, and you know, I mean, I think that speaks volumes. You know, and you look at the guys that were there and that have left. Finn Balor, AJ Styles. You know, now they have Kenny Omega.
But there was no big heat on that back. I mean, there was the rumblings of them.
Yep.
Now that it's what's going on, I also think it has a huge help with social media and the way things are about right now. I think that's a huge help for them. They don't need Vince because you have all these websites and
everything can go viral now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot different. You can actually see in. I mean, the Young Bucks have their own web or podcast.
Yeah.
Be the elite.
Yeah. I mean,
but you
could see it a little bit differently.
But it takes.
It's a game changer too.
Oh yeah, I mean, social media is a game changer. I mean, and I think that social media is what's partly responsible, well, hugely responsible for the way the WWE is right now. Right. Because if you look at their declining attendance at their events, the TV ratings, they're never going to be what they once were.
No.
Never.
Not unless they get rid of this
changing
PG
landscape,
shit.
man.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Landscape.
They got to get rid of the PG and go back to something a little bit more edgy because those other shows are a little bit more edgy. They're not built for 8-year-olds to sell toys to.
Yep.
There's a little bit of edge to them, and that's what we all miss.
Yeah, it's built for 12-years to sell T-shirts at.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
go to Hot Topic.
Yeah,
But
piss off Will and go with my fourth is the Wyatt family.
Ooh.
But I won't because
no, Luke Harper is awesome. Shout out.
Luke Harper, you know what? There's an underrated guy.
Push Luke over Bray.
Luke is way better, and he's local. Boom.
Well, he's not way.
Sorry,
better.
Homer.
He is local. He is local, but he's not way better.
Nobody's as good right now on the mic.
I'm not talking about Mike. I'm talking about in-ring stuff.
Well,
but we're getting off topic here. I'm roping this one back in. Sorry, Russ.
Us off topic?
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm trying to get in the Heenan family.
Okay, well, hey.
I'm just saying that. Talk about I was doing the math. Talk about a 5-6 year run from from 83 to 88, 89. Everybody he had in there. Ravishing Rick Rude, Hercules Hernandez, the Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson.
Big John Studd was there.
Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy. He had the Islanders. He had Haku when he was solo as King Haku.
As King Tonga and all that.
Yeah, he had so many people. Andre the Giant on the heel turn. What?
I know it.
What?
I know it.
That right there.
They have the Big and Little Machine.
No, they were good guys.
Yeah, but didn't they have? I thought they came out.
Well, they did have
like
three.
Twice.
They did have three.
Wait, Bobby Heenan?
He was one of them, wasn't he? Actually?
No.
Andre was.
Andre.
Yeah, but I thought he came out as a third leg.
No, Andre was the giant machine.
I get this wrong every time, so don't quote me on it. So, but well, one of Demolition was.
Yeah.
And
that was
Andre, and I don't know the third one, but they were.
The machines. Yeah. They were the captain. I think Captain Lou managed them.
I don't think they had a manager, did they?
I thought Heenan was the manager for some reason.
I don't know.
It was a long time ago.
That stable, you could not beat that, man.
That was like WWF's version of like the Four Horsemen in a lot of ways.
It was like the 30 Horsemen.
Yeah.
That was the first Nexus.
He's like Survivor Series. I'll put in, boom.
Yeah.
He's got his own team every time you go around. He's got his own team.
And he was our number one for the manager hall, or manager Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, true. So monuments. Do we give out any monuments?
So did you two have your four? Your
Yeah, I mean,
set.
I'm going to side with you on the Heenan.
Yeah,
I'm 4. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bullet Club as my fourth.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Yeah. So monuments.
Yeah. I mean, I think monuments. You got to.
There's a lot.
The Dungeon of Doom. Back then, this is going way back.
Just don't will. Ministry.
Again, Dungeon of Doom. There was the first one he did.
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan did, which was pretty cool. And then when he came back, when John Tenta, the Earthquake, came back as the Shark, and what's his name? Brutus Beefcake was the zombie, and
Brutus Beefcake.
Remember with the face paint? It was like, what are you doing right now? Oh my God, that was and Kamala.
I like the better as the Apostle, just by the way.
I think
Kamala.
I think Evolution.
Who I think was here last night, actually.
Oh boy.
I think.
Where was that? The Trans Music Lounge?
Yeah,
Sorry, cheap plug.
Hey now.
I think Evolution is a monument. for sure.
So I'm not now stepping back here. Horseman, NWO. I guess I agreed with DX and the Heenan family. All right, so Evolution could be a monument.
A monument.
Yeah.
You know, do we put the Shield in?
No. And not even because of him. Just in general, I just don't think that.
I don't think. Yeah. I agree with that.
The Ministry of Darkness.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything with the Undertaker. I mean, a legend.
The Hart Foundation / Hart family.
The Hart Foundation.
Yeah.
I would go with. I'd go for the Ministry of Darkness.
Yeah. The Dangerous Alliance.
Who the hell was that?
That was Steve Austin, Medusa, Larry Zbyszko,
yeah.
Bobby Eaton, Arn Anderson, Rick Rude. This was
okay. Half my squad is in there.
That was what, WCW?
Yeah, half my squad is in there, and I don't know about that. I don't remember that. What? Don't even say it. Don't even say it.
I'm going to say it.
All right, whatever.
The Nexus.
Husky Harris.
Oh, don't even.
Brian Daniels or Daniel Bryan?
But I will say this, though.
Was he in it?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Where?
Let me see here. Let's see. Here's CM Punk.
Yeah, he was.
No, actually, he wasn't. No, Darren Young, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, David Otunga,
he was part of
Mason Ryan, Michael McGillicuddy, who is now Curtis Axel, and then Husky Harris / Bray Wyatt. So, but I will say this:
Will's nightmare
for a debut on Raw.
That could have been great, and they blew it the next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The way they destroyed the ring and the superstars was amazing. I thought it was going to be a phenomenal run, and it just shit the bed.
Yeah, but that I think for like an initial blow or for initial,
it was a jaw drop.
It was great. It was great, and then the Wombats screwed that up. But then we had the $1 Million Corporation, Ted DiBiase, Bam Bam Bigelow, Psycho Sid, the 1 2 3 Kid, which was that's X-Pac now. Nikolai Volkov, IRS, Tatanka, King Kong Bundy, Kama, which was the Godfather, and the Ringmaster Steve Austin before he became
Kama was in the Right to Censor.
Yes,
that's my monument. Right to Censor.
Right to Censor. Right to Censor.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Well, the CM Punk. Is it Right to Censor, or how about the Straight Edge Society?
Straight Edge Society, yeah, that was
all right.
That's what with Luke Gallows, yeah. Because Right to Censor was Molly Holly too.
Yeah.
You gonna throw the Holly family in there?
Ooh, nah.
No. How about the Dudley family?
The Dudleys.
Yeah.
You know what? For ECW, the Dudleys, that was pretty good.
But you had Spike and who else?
You had Spike. You had Big Dick Dudley.
That's what
you had. You had Devon and Bubba and Bubba Ray.
What was the Candido?
Sign Guy Dudley.
Sign Guy Dudley.
They had a guy with they had a guy that would just carry signs.
What was when Shane Douglas was champ in ECW?
Oh, the Triple Threat.
Triple Threat. Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For ECW, I would go with them.
Yeah. I mean, I would throw the Dudleys in on a monument for sure.
Maybe ECW has a wing in the Smithsonian, and they can have their own little spots everywhere.
Yeah. But no, I thought that was really. I thought they were great.
I got here. What was it? What were they called when they came over from WCW? Malenko, Saturn.
Oh, I don't know if they ever had a name.
It wasn't the Insurgents. It was something like that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one for you that we completely forgot: Raven and the Flock.
Ooh.
That was a game changer too. The way he controlled those guys.
It's way too early in the morning. How do we forget that?
Raven was one of my.
We can always change it. We can always change.
That was one of my favorites too.
We can always change. Do you put Raven in a flock? Okay, you have Raven in a flock. Who do you take out? I don't think you take out anybody.
No, they're
our fifth head.
They are a monument.
Fifth head.
Yeah, but that's the thing about ECW is that if you look back, they had some really good factions, really good talent in that organization.
That's where WCW and ECW excelled were their factions.
Yeah. But okay, so we're all settled on it then.
Yeah.
And the Freebirds get a monument too.
Oh, yeah,
the Freebirds! Oh my goodness!
Because of not only interchangeable people, but they could interchange for the title like the New Day does now.
Now, what does that tell you about a faction that they are brought up?
They have
now
the Freebird rule.
The Freebird rule, and this is going back 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But you know why? New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks.
Bad Street, Atlanta, GA. You want to go back and forth? I'll sing to you all day. I'll sing to you all day.
But no, would you take the Freebirds and replace them with anybody with your top four?
No, but they'd be right on the kind of like Ravens flock. They'd be right outside.
Monument.
Right
okay.
outside.
Okay. So then we're settled.
Yeah.
Okay.